Happy Sabbath, boys and girls. Today I am going to read you a story about a squirrel named Elmer. This is the story of Elmer, a gray squirrel who lived in some oak trees in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Elmer was one of 3 baby squirrels. Their nest was almost at the top of a big black oak tree. Gray squirrels make their nests with sticks, leaves, and grass. Baby squirrels are funny little animals. They cannot see, and they have no fur. The mother squirrel feeds them milk. Soon their fur grows and they can see. Then they are able to climb on the big trunk of a black oak tree. Mother squirrel was very pretty. She had soft gray fur, a white breast, and a fluffy tail. She was never far from her 3 baby squirrels. Mother squirrel had to be very careful that the baby squirrels did not fall out of the nest. Soon the 3 baby squirrels were big enough to go away from their nest. Mother squirrel began to teach them how to jump from tree to tree. Their fluffy tails helped them sail through the air. How the 3 squirrels liked to jump from one tree to another. Elmer liked to jump from branch to branch. He learned to jump farther as he grew bigger and stronger. One day, Elmer tried to jump farther than he ever had before. He took a great big jump, but missed his branch. He fell through the air, down toward the ground. Elmer hit the ground, but he was not hurt. His tail was a little bit like a parachute and helped him to fall slowly. A squirrel's tail is beautiful and is useful besides. When squirrels are cold, they wrap their tails around themselves to keep warm. When a squirrel talks to another squirrel, he moves his tail back and forth, just as we sometimes move our hands when we talk. Everything looked different on the ground. There were many things to see. Elmer walked along under the big trees. He found some mushrooms. He ate and ate because they tasted so good. He ate acorns too. He held the acorns in his 2 front paws and cracked the hard shells with his sharp teeth. Squirrels love acorns. Elmer heard the sound of running water, not very far away. He was thirsty, so he ran toward the water. Elmer found a pretty stream. The water was cool and the grass was green near the water. There were cattails in the water, and little fish were swimming in the deep pools. Elmer was tired. He sat down on a pretty rock. Suddenly, that rock began to move. It was not a rock at all, but a turtle. Elmer jumped off the turtle's back and ran towards some tall grass. The turtle walked slowly toward the cool water and dived in. Elmer watched the turtle swim to the bottom of the deep pool. Elmer hid behind some tall grass. He waited near the pond. A pretty yellow and black butterfly flew by and landed on a flower. Then Elmer heard a chirp, chirp above his head. There on a cattail was a blackbird with bright red spots on his wings. The red-winged blackbird had his nest in the cattails. Then Elmer heard something else rustle above his head. Looking up, he saw a furry ball. It was a raccoon waking up from his daytime sleep. The raccoon had a long tail with dark brown rings around it. The raccoon came down from the tree and walked toward the water, looking for food. Elmer walked along the stream. He saw a big oak tree and climbed the tree to look for acorns. He heard a tweet in the tree. There was a nest of sticks and dried mud with 3 baby robins in it. Oh, wow. Suddenly, Mother Robin came flying and pecked hard at Elmer. Mother Robin did not want Elmer bothering her babies. Elmer ran down the tree. Once again, Elmer was on the ground. Squirrels have many friends in the woods, but they have enemies too. They must watch for these enemies. Near Elmer were 2 big eyes watching him. They were the eyes of a hungry bobcat. The bobcat began to creep slowly towards Elmer. Elmer saw the danger and ran to a tree just as the bobcat jumped at him. Up the tree ran Elmer, with the bobcat close behind him. Elmer was a smart squirrel, and he ran out to the edge of the tree where the branches are little. A little branch broke under the bobcat, and he fell down to the ground. Elmer jumped from tree to tree until he was safe once more at home. One day, Elmer was eating acorns when he heard a big noise. Hundreds of wild pigeons flew to the ground. The pigeons had gray bands on their tails. Pigeons like acorns just as much as squirrels do, and they swallow the acorns whole. When the pigeons were full, they all flew off together. Squirrels eat many nuts and acorns, and they also store mushrooms to eat in the winter. During the long summer months, they gather the best mushrooms. They then hang them up to dry in the sun. When the mushrooms are dry, they are put in a dry stump. When squirrels do not have very much food in winter, dry mushrooms taste good to them. Before long, Elmer was a big squirrel. He did not need his mother's care anymore. He learned to be careful when his enemies were nearby. When he stood very still, his gray coat would look like the color of the tree trunk. He always kept a branch of the tree between him and any enemy that might be near. Elmer was a wise squirrel. Squirrels are happy little animals. They like the sun and the rain. When big rain clouds floated over the Sierra Nevada mountains, Elmer sat on a branch of the big oak tree. As the drops of rain began to fall, he ran and jumped and played. This was a good time to take a shower, and Elmer cleaned himself all over with his little front paws. Elmer liked the rain. As winter came on, Elmer looked for a winter home. His nest of leaves would not keep him warm and dry when the snow came. Elmer found a hollow tree near his nest. He made a new nest in the hollow tree and lined it with soft, dry grass. He filled part of the hole with acorns and was all ready for the winter. Squirrels bury many acorns during the year, and some of these take root and grow to be a big oak tree. Elmer lived in the oak trees because he liked acorns to eat. Squirrels are fun to watch at any time of the year. You can help to make animals like Elmer happy by being kind to them. Never hurt any of God's little animals. The end. Thank you for watching and listening.